Hello crafty friends, welcome to another coloured paper scraps ideas video. So again, I've been through my scraps tray and I've pulled out all the more pastel shades. So there's nothing really very bright here. These are probably the most saturated colours out of all of them. I'm going to sort them into colour families, so pinks and reds, orange and yellow, greens, blues, I think. And to get going with the scraps, I want to create a marbled pattern. And I've got a large marble stamp from, I think it's Global Land. Not sure if it's still available. I'll just take some of the larger scraps, I think, and stamp on it. I haven't got a large bit of yellow. I think, actually, if I cut this one in half, and then tape it together, I can get a large bit. So I'll tape it together on the back. I intend on cutting these down anyway. I want to heat emboss my stamping, so I'll treat each of these with talcum powder, and that will remove moisture, static, and any oily fingerprints. And that'll ensure that the embossing powder only sticks to the stamped image. I'll link this up with Versamark sticky embossing ink. Pop my paper face down, give it a good rub on the back, and I'll do all the stamping and then we'll do the heat embossing. Yeah, I can see there's a good image there. I'll re-ink in between each piece. For my embossing powder, I'm going to use Wow Metallic Platinum Regular. There aren't that many detailed bits on this stamp, so I don't really need to use the superfine. There are, however, a few bits of gubbins in there, which I'll get out. Shake that all over. So that's looking good. I will sprinkle on all the others. And now I'll heat up my heat tool and heat them all to melt the embossing powder. Right, they're looking beautiful now. I think that's a good start, but I want to add some more to them. So I've selected some brighter Distress Oxides to go with these. So not so pastel-y. We've got Abandoned Coral, Wild Honey, Lucky Clover, Salty Ocean, Chipped Sapphire. I put some Abandoned Coral on my glass mat. I'll hydrate it with water, pick it up with my smusher and smush it on. You can smush before you heat emboss, but then you've got to wait for the smushing to dry. And also, when you smush over heat embossing, you can get some interesting pooling around the embossing. So I don't want to go too overboard because I still want this light pink to show through in places. As you can see, the paper is warping because it's this one in particular is just a very thin paper, but that will flatten out as it dries. So I'm going to do the rest of those. And once they're dried, you can, if you want, carefully buff off any ink that's sitting on top of the embossing. I just use a dry microfiber cloth for that, and that cleans it right up. Now I want to die cut from these, and I've got this kind of postage stamp journal page type die here. I'm not going to use this. It's got the postage stamp perforations in it, which I don't want, but it also comes with these little squares and rectangles, and I'm going to cut using these, cut out shapes from all of them, and then use them to build a pattern on the front of a card. So they're all cut now. I'm ready to start sticking them down. I've got a piece of A4 white card, and I'm going to use this as a bit of a guide so that I can get my pattern. I'll just tape it down so I don't jog it. And I'll use some high-tack white glue to stick these down onto my card. So I've got a big pink one which can go in there. I'm wondering if I'm going to end up with gaps between them that are too big this way, so I might just take that off and use it as a visual guide. So we'll pop an orange one there with a nice little gap. I know what I'm going to do though. I'm going to go through and put these in the right places. So I'm just going to work my way up this piece of card, repeating this pattern until I've used all my little rectangles and squares. So as you can see, I managed to almost fill an entire piece of A4 card with my little squares and rectangles. I did abandon the original pattern about halfway up because I just felt I needed to introduce some variation. I've managed to create 4 card panels from that one piece of A4. I've got a square one on a 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 inch card, a stitched rectangle on a 4 by 6 card, a slightly larger stitched rectangle on a 4 by 6 card, and an even larger stitched rectangle on a 5 by 7 card. I did also have some spare bits left over, and I cut those out with a double fishtail banner die, stuck them on a bit of linen textured card which I trimmed out, and I've put that on an A5 size card, so that's half a sheet of A4. So that's going to make a nice big card. To decorate the cards, I don't want to go too overboard because a lot of work has gone into the backgrounds. So I've chosen some sticker sentiments. These are a really deep kind of indigo blue with white writing on, so they're going to pop on that colourful background. And I'm going to add just vellum die cuts with nothing done to them. For this one, I'm going to add 2 flowers, one large and one small. I'll put a little bit of wet glue roughly in the middle, and I'm going to place that about 1/3 of the way down in the middle, about there I think. And then I'm going to add the smaller flower on top, again just a couple of little bits of glue in the middle. And then I'm going to add my sentiment like that, right in the middle, covering that glue. So we've got some subtle texture and a nice bold sentiment. For this one, I've got 2 vellum ferns, 2 different ones. I'm going to add a little bit of glue just in a few places, tiny little dots. And again, I'm going to put that in the middle and add some tiny dots of glue again. And this one's going to go on top, offset. Please excuse the aeroplane flying overhead. I'm not sure if we need 2 now, looking at it. 2 might be too many. So I had to stop recording because somebody started hammering and then someone else sparked up some kind of noisy power tool. And I didn't think you want to listen to all of that as well as the aeroplanes. So I finished the cards off camera and I'll show you now how they turned out because they're all very similar. So I did put 2 of the same pieces of foliage or fern on this card here in the middle with this sentiment on top. I decided not to use this one because I think having 2 different ones made it a little bit unclear as to what you were looking at. But having 2 the same, slightly offset, makes them a bit more prominent, but not as prominent as if they were cardstock, say. This is the 5 by 7 card, and I cut 2 identical holy leaves from vellum and popped them here, and I added the sentiment across the middle again. And these are flicking up quite nicely to add a little bit of dimension. And I can hear an aeroplane, so I'm going to speed through this. For this one, I cut 2 solid butterflies, put them one on top of the other. I didn't offset them, but I could have if I'd wanted, and I can give these a bit of a curl to make them dimensional if I can get my fingers to work. And again, sentiment in the middle. And for this A5 card, I cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 butterflies twice, doubled them up, and then added them so they're fluttering up the card. I gave them bodies with Nouveau drops in pale gold and then added the sentiments. So thankful for you. About 1/3 of the way down, it's on this second banner. So that's 5 cards made with those scraps from my coloured paper scraps tray. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope it's given you some ideas, and I hope to see you back here very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.